Hi there, I'm Jade here again, and this is part 2 of the 4-part series talking about how to pleasure your lady, how to give her the best orgasms. So if you're a man watching this and you're wanting to learn a little bit more about how to interact with your lady friend, hopefully you've watched the first part of the series, and you've noticed what I was saying about how it's so important to get the woman to be relaxed and to really be open, and also to understand that the woman is existing on a slightly different dimension that you are on. And even though we're here together on the physical plane, what may be logical and right to you isn't necessarily logical and right to her. So the first thing I would say that it's essential to understand is to understand that for women, emotions and sex are very interlinked. So when you touch a woman, especially like certain parts of her body, her face, for example, when you touch her in a gentle way, what you're doing is you're evoking emotions in her. And in a way, this is like what's so beautiful about women, and the emotions absolutely like amplify our ability to be sexual and to experience sexuality. And whilst we as women have repressed emotions that we're not honest with ourselves about, that we're not aware of, we're never really gonna like fully be able to sexually express ourselves. So it's really important to understand this about a woman. Now, I mentioned in the last series about approaching the woman, you know, in a gentle way, in a yin way. My tantra teacher, he actually said it's important for a man to approach a woman in a feminine way, so coming from his inner feminine. Now, we all, both men and women, we both have an inner divine masculine and an inner divine feminine. And for the purpose of lovemaking, men need to go into their feminine, and then they can connect with the woman, because if they're going from their masculine, there will always be a state of disconnect between the man and the woman. Now, we use the word like foreplay, and I love that word, but especially I like the play part of it, because it's so essential that what we're doing, we really do with a sense of fun. We do with a lightheartedness for whatever is coming, whatever is happening, to just be open to the experience. Maybe there's going to be lots of laughter and giggling. Maybe there's going to be tears and crying, maybe even screaming. Whatever happens, just go with the flow and just have fun with it, because all these things, they're amazing, they're magical, and they're absolutely fine. So if you're making love with a woman and she starts to cry, you know, it may well, as long as you're respecting her boundaries, it may well actually mean that you're like giving her a really, you know, great experience. So it's absolutely important to be like, it's actually like take place in an energetic dance with our partner, that we're both feeling each other's energy, we're both dancing together, allowing the energy to form the dance, that we're not actually coming from a place of like being in our heads, but we're actually like in our bodies, feeling our bodies, allowing our bodies to go together in a way that's natural to them, without having any kind of intention or, you know, end goal in sight, but just for having the experience. Now, I mentioned before about when one starts to touch the woman, it's actually better to a little bit give the woman space for her to start initiating sexual activity, and to be very aware that most likely what the woman feels comfortable with is going to be slower than what you might want. So slowing down and really like going with the flow and seeing what she's comfortable with. So that means like watching her breathing, watching how she's reacting, even watching, you know, is she relaxed, is she tense, you know. And once you've got to the point where you both are clearly open to sexual interaction, you should start by touching her body, you know. So touching the head is really effective, touching around the side of the head. The ears are very sensual, the lips of course as well, and this can evoke a lot of emotions, which means a lot of sexual energy inside the woman. Now also, every part of our bodies is sensual, you know, the hands, the arms, and the slower that we touch and the gentler that we go, we can actually get a stronger sensation, because what we're doing is we're actually not just touching the physical, but we're also touching the energy body, and we're not just working with the physical body of our partner, but we're actually bringing the energy into our interaction together.